Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso on S3, keeping you entertained and safe while you enjoy your space at home.
Yep, and hopefully you are enjoying the time with us. So this sentence, what's the difference? That question, brought to you by Woolworths, is a series that takes us on an adventure to superb locations across South Africa as we learn more about their obsession with quality. Now,
Clem recently visited Klipheuwel Fruits, where he learned more about Woolies' cold chain and how they ensure that it never gets broken.
Have you ever wondered why Woolies grapes are the pick of the bunch? Well, it's got to do with the obsession with quality, plus everything about the cold chain. What's a cold chain, you might be asking? Well, I'm in the Hex River Valley today to find out more about their best-kept secret, plus follow the delicious journey of the grapes from vine to your table. The journey of the Woolies grapes that starts on the vine and ends up on your table is a beautiful and delicious one. And the best person to tell me about it is right here, Johan Klipheuwel. Johan, how are they looking?
They're looking very good. I think another week or two, then they should be ready for Woolworths shelf and you can enjoy them.
Johan, Klipheuwel Fruit have been growing grapes for Woolworths since 1994. Tell me about that journey and the secret to that fruitful relationship.
We started with Woolworths in '94, but it was very small. We basically started as a value adding to our normal export grape business, which most of the people in our area do. And so it's grown over time. I mean, I think the big change came when we got all these new varieties, and all of a sudden the grape business in Woolworths also exploded because we were offering the customer more. And we had to take a decision that we would rather support Woolworths and work with them. So we decided to become exclusive, and since then the business has skyrocketed with them, and we've had a very good partnership. They're very nice people to work with, and we can share like ideas, secrets, and make our grapes world class. And that's what's important.
Yeah, and as you know, Woolies are obsessed with quality. How has that affected the way you grow these beautiful grapes?
We agree with them, and that's what we're doing here is we're waiting till it's perfect, till it's wow, till the taste is exactly right before we harvest it.
And the proof is in the pudding, right?
In the eating, is
in
actually
the eating. Mmm. That is so good. These are absolutely delicious, huge, like I want to say the size of baby apples, and so juicy. What variety is this? What other varieties are you growing on the farm?
This is Autumn Crisp. It's a late white variety. It's basically got an apple texture. It's really something taking off, and I think it's become one of the premium white varieties. Then we also have Allison, which is a pink variety. We have Raleigh, which is a pink variety. So then we have Melody, which is a black variety. And we have Crimson, which is a red variety. We have Sweet Celebration, which is a red variety. I can go on and on and on.
And you get to try all of these, right?
Well, we've got to plant them and have to rear them and make them nice so that we can actually put them on the shelf at Woolworths. So it takes you about 5 years to really get into full production.
And you've got quite a production team working behind this.
I've got a very good production team.
And I believe one of your managers actually, you're going to be taking me a little behind the scenes tour?
Yes, Hilton. He knows a lot more about growing grapes than I do.
Hilton, what's the ideal climate for growing these beautiful grapes?
Okay, Clem, the climate that we need is high, dry, with little rain temperature. That's what the Expresso offers us to grow these beautiful grapes.
You mentioned you want to harvest at a cooler time of the day. What are those temperatures, and why do you want to harvest at a cooler temperature?
Clem, the ideal temperature is it's under 25, and the pulp of 28, to get it as quickly as possible to the packer to get the temperature down, and that's how the cold chain starts.
This is going to sound like a difficult question, but from the times that grapes are harvested, what are all the steps taken to maintain cold chain until it reaches my home?
Basically, the first thing is we need to start with nice and cool grapes. That gets taken to a pack house where it's also kept at 22 to 23 degrees. It gets packed. After it's cooled down, it needs to be kept at -1.5 degrees Celsius. Here you'll see the forklift that's running around. It's moving the grapes out of different rooms into other rooms. And it's also in basically cooled corridors, but it's doing it really fast so we don't actually break the cold chain. The other thing is every step is where there is a movement from one point to another. It gets checked, it gets done through as close to possible an airlock system, gets done as quickly as possible so that we do not have a rise in temperature throughout the whole process, all the way from basically here, the shed, to the DC and to the store.
The operation I've seen on the ground today, I'm telling you, I've got a new appreciation for grapes. We've just seen where the cold chain process begins, and now here in store, where we're gonna get an all-access pass to see how that cold chain is maintained. Franz, earlier today, I was at Klipheuwel Fruits and saw the beautiful journey of our grapes. But I have to ask, how do Woolies go about partnering with certain suppliers?
Well, firstly, we do not bring new suppliers on board frequently because we have a dedicated base of suppliers. If we have to bring on a new supplier, firstly, we look at their varietal availability. Secondly, the quality profile of their product. And then thirdly, do they have the infrastructure to actually deliver a product to Woolies?
As a fruit technologist, why is cold chain so important to Woolworths?
Well, cold chain is probably one of the most important parts of managing the quality of the product. So from the moment that you harvest fruit, and especially grapes, it starts to deteriorate. So the cold chain ensures that the grapes remains crisp and fresh until the last day of shelf life, which is indicated on the pack.
How do you ensure that in-store our cold chain remains uninterrupted?
So it's to basically always keep the grape at the correct temperature. So when the truck arrives, the grapes go directly into the cooler in the back area of the store and then straight onto shelf where the temperature is monitored daily to determine whether there's been any deviation. So in the case of load shedding, we have generators that will kick in and make sure that the cold chain remain uninterrupted during the load shedding process.
It's been a delicious journey, and now you know why Woolies grapes are crisper, fresher, and always delicious. That's just the Woolies difference.
Oh, I absolutely love it. Clem, thank you so much for taking us inside the cold chain, literally. And he didn't even wear a jersey that entire time, but it's amazing to see how they keep that consistency. And here's the deal. You get the deal. At the end of all of that, you get to access the very best grapes available. So to that end, if you are a rewards member, you can buy any 2 seedless grape 500-gram punnets and you save 15 Rand in the process. All customers will save 10 Rand, get that rewards card, and get the 15 Rand off, and you can shop this offer in-store, online, of course, using Woolies Dash, and I suggest you do it. But let's continue with some culinary inspiration, long enough for me to finish at least 2 of these bunches, please.